Hey, how you doing? I'm Carlos with Tac One Fab. I thought maybe I should do a video series on this next chassis build instead of just blowing through it. It kind of occurred to me that on YouTube, and I know there's some really in-depth discussion about chassis builds on old websites like Pirate 4x4 and probably even on the new iRate, but I thought maybe it would be beneficial if I went through and did a video on the chassis build and talked a little bit more about just the details of the build. And when I say do a video on the chassis build, it's not going to be just one video. It's going to be like a vlog, I guess, or a series. And hopefully I can keep them pretty short, but I'd like to bring up some things about chassis building that you don't really see on other videos, and some details and maybe even start a discussion on different things about the chassis builds and about the chassis in general. A little bit of background on me. I'm no expert. I started on this journey with off-road stuff probably about 7 years ago, and I was lucky enough to come across a few friends and a few guys that have become my mentors in this whole chassis build and fabrication journey. As far as what I do full-time, I do custom leatherworking cowboy gear. That's what pays for 95% of my hobbies. That's what pays, that's how I make my living full-time. I've been doing that for probably, coming up 23 years now. So does that make me an expert in fabricating on tube structure and off-road fabrication? No, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't make me an expert. But what it does is it gives me attention to detail, and that's what this is all about. Fabrication of any kind is attention to detail. I was having a discussion the other day with a friend of mine about when we were kids, and I don't know about you guys, I don't know how old you guys are. I'm 45 now, but when I was a kid, I used to watch the public television, PBS. I used to watch This Old House and New Yankee Workshop. Oh, there was a couple other ones on there that I had watched, but that stuff fascinated me. It fascinated me, and I think what it did is it planted a seed and made me know that regardless of what at the time were pressures to go to college, which I did go to college, and that ended up being a thorough education in beer and chasing girls. I really didn't go to class, but that impressed on me at the time is how passionate I was and about making, about building, about creating and fabricating. So it all kind of crosses over. Building for me and creating for me is like breathing. And that's what I've done with the leather for 25 years. And that's what I'll continue to do in all facets of my life, whether it's metal fabrication, leather fabrication, creativity on a computer, digital design, drawing. It all correlates. It all goes together. It all relates to each other. It's attention to detail and creation on a daily basis. Whether you're building something out of clay, you're building something with a paintbrush, metal. It's all the same to me. So, anyway, that's a little background on me. In regard to the chassis build, I find that what's available out there as far as videos are concerned, there's not a lot of detail on why you do what. For instance, why did I choose this type of material? What am I doing with this bend? Why is this bend there? What about the subframe? Why did you design the subframe that way? To me, a chassis is oftentimes probably the most overlooked thing on the car. Now, more specifically with us, we're talking about an off-road buggy. We're talking about a 4800 style Ultra 4 race car in this instance. That's what this is going to be purpose built for. But this crosses over into your trail wheeler, your trail buggy. It crosses over into many different things. So where was I going with that? Word block. Okay. Anyway, so to me, it's often overlooked because what you all often see out there on pictures, in person, you know, on the track, on television, you see the finished product. But you don't really get to see the minute details and the build structure, or I guess the build quality of the chassis, because it's covered up by everything else. What you see is tires and wheels and axles and suspension and shocks and body panels and stickers and paint and color. And what I want to do with this video series is I want to talk about the chassis. The chassis is your foundation. The chassis is what everything is built upon and what everything starts from. So for some of you that are probably listening or watching this, I mean, this is not new information to you. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. But what I'm thinking and what I'm hoping is there's some of you that are maybe in the market to buy a chassis, or you're going to maybe try to build a chassis on your own. And so this sort of is going to be, I don't want to say my love letter, that's kind of cheesy, but to chassis and to chassis builders, because I want to talk about some of the things that make the foundation of a vehicle so cool, what make the foundation of the build so important, and maybe go over some of the minute details and talk about what I know and what I know works. I'm going to throw in my opinion. Like I said, I don't know everything. I'm no expert. Obviously, I have a lot to learn. I'm learning every day, and if you're not learning every day, you're probably dead. Hopefully that gives you an idea, something to go on as far as the series. This is just going to be the intro video. I'm going to roll into the next part, which is actually going to be part 1 of the chassis build and some of the specifics on the chassis. And I'm going to keep on trying to put these videos out, probably 1 a week as I make progress on the chassis. So far, I've got 2 weekends in on this chassis, and we'll just keep it rolling, keep it going from there. All right? Okay, yeah. So I got to do this. Hopefully you can see this. If you guys like these videos, if you like the video series, if you want to support the channel, more or less actually support the website, taconefab.com. You can get on there. You can buy these sweatshirts. Sweatshirts got a big Tac One Fab logo on the front. You can get them in multiple sizes. They are a print-on-demand service, so it takes a little while for you to get yours, but that keeps me from having to handle inventory and make sure I have every size and color in stock. So that's on the sweatshirts. I also have the hats. The hats have the Tac One Fab helmet logo embroidered on them. They're the Richardson 112 series hats. I really like the Richardson brand hat. I like the way it looks. You can't really see that in this video. I'll throw a screenshot up there on the video so you can see what the hat actually looks like up close. And then also, I just finished the design on the new Tac One Fab t-shirts. And the new Tac One Fab t-shirts, I'll throw a picture up right now. On the front, they have the Tac One Fab logo. On the back, they have a drawing of the Tac One Fab Stryker chassis on them. So anyway, if you want to support me, support the channel, support the website. Basically, I don't make barely any money off this swag, but what it does is it helps support that monthly payment to keep the website up and going. All right, thanks.